Dave. This is Joe.
I listened to that podcast and I was like, I'm with him.
That sounds really cool. And then Chris Humphries hard fouls. Kevin Garnett pushes him straight into the third row. Let's go. My name is Dave. This is Joe. Let's go.
This is the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the BSN Show.
Joe, you got anything you want to say before you go?
No, we have talked a lot.
We have tons of nothing left of the tank. Let's go. Welcome back to the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S.N Show. This is the 75th episode, 3/4 of the way to 100. That's pretty cool. Little milestone. Didn't even realize that was coming up until I said it now. So, this is the 75th episode. I, of course, am accompanied by my two fellow nerds here. To my right, I have the host of WECP,
Aaron.
And to my left, I have the inevitable host of Down and Distant,
Joe.
Joe. And I'm Dave. No, I got nothing left.
No, you're the also proprietor of Indecently Decent.
I would say that's my main side, my side bitch right now. That's my thing.
Kevin's your side bitch?
Kevin's my side bitch. He knows it. He knows better than to act up.
I mean, you were single for a while and you didn't even promote Kevin to your main bitch.
No, just
That's kind of upsetting.
Gotta keep him in the side pocket right there. I like
keep
him
him wanting more.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
T's and P's for T's and P's for Kevin.
Yeah. Well, do better. So we had a frustrating week as Celtics fans. Last week we ended the show with hopefully we're 1 week in and 1 game into the NBA Finals. We won Game 5 that night, lost Game 6 on Friday, lost Game 7 on Sunday, and here we are now, dressed in all black, all of us almost. Dark gray, I like it. It would pass at a funeral. So
I'm like the somewhat optimistic guy at funeral.
Just like he was a good guy.
Yeah.
We had hope for him.
Yeah.
And he just, never fully developed.
You're like the guy that didn't actually really know him, but just is that's your wife's friend.
Yeah.
So you're there, the dark gray.
Yeah.
I like it. Frustrating game, frustrating series. A lot of trade talk already.
Yeah,
which I don't like. Can I just sleep in peace for a
minute?
Danny Ainge already made
wild too.
Did you hear what he said?
No.
He's like, I do remember those players that you keep telling me I need to trade now.
Oh, right? Yeah.
He's like, I remember how much I went through to get them here. How about we take our time? I actually want to see them play in a Celtics uniform.
He also said in his exit interview that he really likes the team that he has right now, and he's really not in the really trying to break it all up.
He's not
Trader Danny right now.
Not full on Trader Danny.
You think they worked their way into the draft a little bit?
Maybe.
I just don't.
What's that guy? Mobamba?
I would sit this one out.
Bobamba?
To be honest with you.
I don't know who that is.
Sit this one out and you have fucking 4 picks in the first round next year.
I saw a really weird offer where it was Terry Rozier and the Memphis Grizzlies pick next year and the LA Clippers pick next year for the 2 Clippers picks this year, which is 11 and 12.
I don't like that.
I don't like that.
I don't care.
But it
doesn't do anything for me.
The only thing I think that does is you can then flip 11-12 to get to 3.
But
if someone wants out.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Does that get you
Mobamba? I don't know if I'm even
saying his name right. Who is he? I don't even know who that is.
He's a wildly talented center. He's the third best prospect coming up.
Okay, how tall?
Let me see if I...
Dave,
I think it's Mo Bamba.
I'm fully still in my camp.
I had it.
You had it.
He's 6'11". He has an 8-foot wingspan.
Okay, so he's like what's his name? The fucking swimmer there, Michael Phelps, with a 7'6" wingspan at 6'2".
Don't think you even have to get up to 3 to get him.
No,
I think he's gonna fall to 6 or 7.
Well then, yeah. I mean, you could throw someone 11 and 12, but that would mean you trade Scary Terry.
If you're gonna move up, if you want to move up really high, it's like DeAndre Ayton or bust. You need to get to 2.
Yeah.
And then you get your center because Ayton is disgusting.
Yes,
I don't know who that is.
He's the kid from Arizona.
He was the best center, and he was the best player in basketball last year. Yeah. The only reason he would go number 2 is because of some European kid who's supposed to be the second coming of LeBron James.
Now, what do you think about the Karl Anthony Towns talk?
I just don't
Big
want
cat.
don't want to trade anyone. Although I love Karl Anthony Towns.
Now, I do love Karl Anthony Towns, and I think this actually fixes a problem. One report said Jaylen Brown and 2 picks for Karl Anthony Towns.
I would do that.
I would fire that off as fast as possible because it fixes the what do you do with Hayward, Tatum, Jaylen problem? You know what I mean? Next year, and then you also have an actual center that's also like 24. And you know what I mean? Like he's also really good and young.
He can pretty much play everywhere too.
Right.
Like he can play center.
But he can shoot. He's like a younger, more athletic Al Horford.
He can do everything.
Can't I just convince him to take Terry Rozier instead?
I think
you're. I love Jaylen Brown too, but you have to remember that Gordon Hayward.
It's not even so much that. It's not even so much that I love Brown so much. It's just so much
you don't
that
want Rozier on the team.
And it's not even that. I just watched him fumble his way through Game 6 and 7.
Yeah,
and just showed me like, okay, when the real heat's on him, he can't shoot. Mm-hmm. When the real pressure's on.
Never been a good shooter.
That's my point.
He's improved greatly,
and I don't think Jaylen Brown's a great shooter either.
Oh, wait,
but he was
Rozier.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, never
but
mind. I was talking about Jaylen Brown.
I don't think Jaylen Brown's a great shooter, but I also think he gets really to the hoop.
But Jaylen Brown or Terry Rozier wasn't involved in the Karl Anthony Towns trade. It was just
that's what I was saying. I want that instead.
To get rid of Terry.
I want that instead. Send Terry Rozier and 3 picks. I don't care.
No. I'd rather listen. If you send Terry Rozier, it'll be like Kyrie Irving comes out of the game, Marcus Smart comes in, and that's it. That's all you'd ever have.
Yeah, why not? What's wrong with that?
Because your offense goes out the window.
No, you still have Jaylen Brown. You still have a rotation of Hayward or whomever else.
Yeah, but. Marcus Smart is not going to literally they'll turn into Rondo where they just stop guarding him because he doesn't bring you anything offensively.
But when he was all right, he isn't a great shooter. Obviously,
he's actually statistically the worst shooter,
the worst active shooter.
Okay, so my point is though, when he was driving to the hoop, he could kick it out to somebody, and he loved to pass it into the paint where. There was actually guys that could score.
Right.
Like a Horford. Feed Horford. Why didn't they do that?
Right.
Why didn't the coach take a timeout after 9 missed 3-point shots and just jacking them up with 17 seconds left on the clock?
Right.
And said to the guys, hey, it's not going down tonight. Mm-hmm. Start making your plays closer to the fucking hoop.
Right.
I actually think Terry Rozier will be even better next year in the 6-man role.
Yes, but at the same time, you have to hope that that's going to happen.
I don't even think he's going to be the 6th man though, because it's either going to be Jaylen or Tatum or Hayward or whoever.
I think it's going to be a lot of doubles, double switches.
Yeah,
very rarely it'll be they'll almost be co-6 men. It'll be Kyrie and Hayward come off.
Right? Yeah.
Jaylen and Rozier come on.
Because don't forget, also there were times this year where Rozier played point guard and Irving played the 2.
Yeah, he's
Rozier would bring the ball up and Kyrie was coming off screens and whatnot.
Instead of having to be your starting guy.
I mean, that's Hayward's job next year. I think he's the 2 guard.
I think it'll be Jaylen.
You think it's going to be Jaylen?
I think it'll be Jaylen. Well, like I said, I think depending on what your starting 5 is.
Hypothetically, they trade Jaylen.
It'll be Hayward.
It's going to be Hayward being your 2 guard.
Right.
I don't mind the trading for Karl Anthony Towns.
No, I don't mind it. I'm just...
I like that a lot. Because then also Al Horford's contract would be the first one up. Max contract.
And you're not as stressed out.
Replacement.
You're not stressed out about it.
You got a free max contract coming up. You know what I mean? I like that deal
a lot. That money goes right to Karl Anthony Towns.
Coin flip.
No, you know who it goes to? It goes
Karl Anthony Towns.
No, Kyrie's coming up next.
Yeah, but you have... Kyrie is already hypothetically he's already your max contract guy.
Yeah,
so his money is there.
Yeah.
No, my
Horford's money just shifts to Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
And then Horford goes away.
Right.
Forever.
Which I
don't think he would. I think he would
he's
stay.
Stay on the cheap.
I don't know. I think another team would pay him buku amounts of dollars, and he'd be like, "All right, I'm going to Phoenix."
Right. Just
it's nice there. Right. My wife will like it. My kids will like it.
I think I like the narrative too. Well, also, so to wrap up the Karl Anthony Towns thing, so then there's that report. I'm like, oh, do it, Danny, do it.
I feel like
let's do it.
I honestly
and then the other side of the coin was Tatum, Jaylen, and 2 picks, and I was like, oh, kick the fuck off. That's crazy.
Well, the thing is, to me though, that's the actual deal that would get it done. Because if was it Minnesota that he plays for?
Yeah.
I don't understand why you would make the deal for Jaylen Brown and 2 picks.
Because he's probably gonna leave.
Is that what they think?
Yeah, because his rookie deal's coming up.
They
have Wiggins, Butler.
But they can offer the Supermax.
They can offer the Supermax.
No other team can.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also Minnesota.
Like, that's why a lot of people think Kawhi is going to stay in San Antonio, because they're going to give him the Supermax.
Right.
Yeah, they're going to fire the coach because he doesn't seem to get along with him either.
They're not going to fire the coach.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, that's inevitable.
I think that's
bullshit.
a Tom Brady, Bill Belichick situation.
Money talks.
No, I think that's more like
Money talks. It's hard to walk away when you have
the same way.
$150 million staring you in the face.
I think that they have a real tension between the two. I would say, like the Brady Belichick thing. But I think he's there.
$150 million, and it's like $250 million staring you in the face. Because I'm pretty sure Steph Curry signed like a $200 million contract.
Yeah, him and Harden both went over 200.
Yeah. So Kawhi's looking at like $250 million for the
crazy.
Supermax.
That's crazy.
I think they can offer him like a full like $50 million more than the next team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's crazy. So yeah, definitely not Tatum and Jason.
No, I wouldn't go for that at all.
That. Now the Marcus Smart thing.
I honestly think Jason Tatum is untouchable. I would not trade Jason Tatum for anyone in the league.
Absolutely true. Marcus Smart comes out and says, "I think I'm worth $12 to $14 million. I think I'm worth more than $12 to $14 million."
Jackie McMullen.
Jackie McMullen, based on what I get done that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. How many people do you know that leave it out on the court like I do every night? Then I love it here. Boston's where my heart is.
Yeah, because you want to.
Because
you want Danny to hear that and be like, "Listen, I know I'm worth that on the open market.
Right.
Come at me with a real deal and let's talk."
But the thing is,
but he did say that. Like he made the comment about loving it, and then after he left the locker room, had a conversation with Jackie, and then she reports that, and it's like, what? Like 15 minutes ago, it was something else.
He says this is my part.
When he says 12 to 14 million, does he mean a year?
A year. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would offer him 15 million.
That's not.
I don't know if they could pay for that. I don't think they can.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I learned a wild thing about the NBA luxury tax. If you're over that tax threshold, you pay $4 for every dollar.
I mean,
if you're $1 million or $10 million,
how far over can they be though?
They've got to be close. They've got to be real close. They have 15 guys.
So if you're
like
10,
full roster.
So if you're 10 over, you're paying $40 million.
But
to who?
To the NBA.
That's the only reason why the NBA is the richest fucking league in the country. That's it.
But Rozier's on a rookie deal.
Yeah.
For now.
Right.
Smart's just ending his rookie deal. You got Yabusele on a rookie deal. You got Tatum and Brown are both on rookie deals. Shane Larkin's probably on like a veteran minimum.
Right.
Who are they? I mean, they're paying those three guys.
Yeah, I was going to say 3 max contracts, and then like Marcus Morris, Aaron Baines.
Yeah, but Marcus Morris might not come back.
He's under contract.
Oh, for one more year.
They traded for him.
Yeah, they traded for him.
And he's under but his is like kind of what's his name's already saying.
But they could restructure.
He's
his
at
deal.
isn't he at 12 a year?
He's close. He's probably close.
They could restructure his deal.
They could, yeah.
They could, but I don't think.
Same with Baines is another guy they could restructure his deal.
Yeah, but I don't think he needs to restructure. I don't think his is that big.
They probably just let Greg Monroe go.
Well, I was going to say he's on the cheap. He's on the veteran.
He's $5 million and he's off the books.
Who?
Monroe.
Or they do the opposite and they let Baines go and keep Greg Monroe.
And
I just think because you got more out of Baines, I don't want that. But
you did, but Greg
Monroe's good.
Monroe's more of the offensive guy. Baines is clearly the defensive guy, but I mean, you're fine going into next year with Greg Monroe as your center.
Baines is off the books.
How much was he?
How much was he on?
4.3.
But then you keep him and you get rid of Greg Monroe.
But my point is, I also want him because I just want to see him have to battle against Embiid all year.
Right. Well, I mean, why are you saying you keep Baines? They're both free agents.
And they're both what?
Monroe was 5 last year.
Yeah.
But he's a free agent. So what they made last year doesn't matter.
You might be able to get him for like 3 or 4 this year.
So you just keep whatever one is cheaper. To me, they're interchangeable. I would try and keep Baines first, but
yeah, I think he gives you a little more of how you play.
I'm fine with either one. So
I like Monroe a lot.
Yeah, so does Joe. He just said it basically. He's like he'd rather keep Baines, but
Yeah. I like Monroe. Yeah, I just like Monroe a lot. I've liked Monroe just as a
Monroe is more like...
But Baines is more of a Celtic-style player.
Monroe is also, like, not very good on defense. Like, he can get very... Like, Baines can kind of hold his own if he gets, like, on the wrong person.
Right.
Monroe just gets blown by.
Monroe's a good, like, defensive, like, rim protector / rebounder.
He's
like,
also very good back
possession.
to basket, like, with the ball in his hands.
Not a good shooter at all. So you got Marcus Smart, who is also a restricted free agent, by the way. So it's like someone can make an offer, they can match it, they can whatever, If
that might actually be the way to go, is just kind of let him go out there and see what's offered to him.
Right. His actual tender right now, like if he doesn't get a deal or they just sign the restricted free agent tender, it's for $6 million. So there's that. But you got to pay 31 to Gordon Hayward, 29 to Al Horford, because he's also in the second to last year. He'll be going into the second to last year, so he's at the end of his max contract, which is the most expensive 2 years. Kyrie Irving, who's also at the second to last year, well, his last totally free year. So he'll be in the end of his. So you're like at the end of all these deals. It's not just like, oh, it's a max contract. Like you just signed Steph Curry for $31 billion. It's like, oh, you signed Steph Curry for 31 3 years ago. Now he's making 40. You know what I mean? So at that point, Jason Tatum's going to be making 6.7. You're right about the rookie contracts, but also you got to remember these guys are like pick number 3, 6, and 3. It's not just.
Why would I never understood that? Not to be stupid, but why do they do that? Why do they backload the contract?
So you can operate up front.
What? So that year you can bring in somebody that you can't afford in 2 years?
The cap goes up every year, typically.
Yeah.
So you backload it. So if the cap goes up and you have, you can spend $50 more million next year.
Now the $40 million doesn't really matter.
Now if he's making 40 of your 200, we'll do some real quick easy thing here. If the cap this year is $100 million, and you send Steph Curry for a $50 million contract and you do 20 and 30 for 2 years, right? If you have $100 million to spend this year and you spend 20, you'll have $80 million left. If the cap goes to $200 million and he's making 30 next year, now you have $170 million left, and he's only going to be a certain percentage of your cap. You know what I mean? So the percentage of what he'll occupy will actually decrease if the cap moves forward.
This is the thing is
planning for inflation.
Totally makes sense. But what do we always talk about in the NBA, the NFL, the baseball? By the end of these contracts, they're fucking most of them, not everyone. There are guys that just they almost go into their fucking retirement as just all-stars. But there's a lot of them, they fucking fall off the cliff. Wouldn't you set it preloaded, like where they're actually producing, and then at the back end of the contract when they're hypothetically not doing as much, make it more incentive based at the end?
The idea is that by the time that comes around, that it's almost like a value. Like, because
you're hoping there's
if we had signed Al Horford, like, let's say we signed Kyrie Irving, we got Kyrie Irving at the end of his, like, for the last part of his first big contract.
Yeah.
If we signed him like this year, it's going to be a lot of money, like $200 million, right? By the time that contract's over, that $200 million is going to be like,
it'll be cheap,
very cheap compared to what everyone else is making.
And you're right about when you sign somebody, you're trying to get the most you can. Like in the middle of their career, typically you sign them at their peak. But a lot of these deals are done. So like Jason Tatum's, right? So like in 2 years, 3 years, they'll give him an extension. You would assume he's going to be getting better every year into his prime. So then it's back. So now he's getting paid for his talent level also. Because if you either flatlined it and he just made $25 million every year, or 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, whatever. By the time he peaks, he'll be at his lowest pay. Yeah. And then it's like, well, what the fuck am I playing
no, I'm talking about guys that are like getting max contracts at like 28.
Remember when
30?
Yeah,
they should be getting the ones that the first 2 years of it, fucking pay them.
Sometimes they do. You can do it in the NBA, but just the typical contract is backloaded.
And then you always hear about, it's an expiring contract and this and that. Yeah, they're still getting overpaid for what you're getting from them.
Right.
That's why I think you should pay them when they're at that youthful age.
Yeah.
And then when they're in the back nine. Yes.
Yeah.
Throw a ton of money at that guy because he's 24.
He's not.
By the time he's 30, don't do that.
I'm actually gonna put the skewer through that idea right now.
He's not going to be a Celtic.
He's not.
No, it's not.
No, but
I would like it.
Minnesota
Yeah,
is not pulling the trigger on a deal for Jaylen Brown and 2 picks for the best center in basketball, pretty much.
I also don't think Karl-Anthony Towns moves.
You just think he's going to stay in
I think
Minnesota?
he's like the new Anthony Davis, like where everyone's like, "Oh, they might be available. He might be available."
Yeah,
and
he's
it's
not
not actually going to go anywhere.
I just don't.
He'll end up
Kawhi.
like Kevin Garnett.
Yeah,
Spend the whole time there, miserable as shit because he's not winning.
right.
Just don't give me Kawhi. I don't want Kawhi.
I don't want
him either.
I don't want Kawhi either. I would definitely do the Karl-Anthony Towns deal for Jalen and 2 picks.
Yeah,
straight
no
up. I would
shit.
do
Yeah,
that.
I just want this team to stay exactly as it is.
That's the only, and I agree with you, Stan Pat. Unless you're going to trade Jalen Brown 2 picks for Karl-Anthony Towns, then I'm in.
Yeah,
like, then
it might
I'm
actually be the only deal I'm in.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's not going to be
because then you have such a solid 5. It's like
so young.
It's unreal.
So fucking young.
It's literally Kyrie,
your oldest player
Hayward,
on the court is fucking Horford.
You solve your logjam at small forward because it's literally Kyrie, Hayward, Tatum, Horford, Towns. Yeah. That team is winning multiple championships.
That would be so good, and for like 8 years.
Yeah.
Like it would be so good.
And off the bench, you would still have Rozier, Smart, and Morris.
Yeah,
and
you got
Baines
the Goon Squad.
Whatever.
Yeah, I like that. I like how they started making that t-shirt, the Goon Squad, with Rozier, Smart, and Morris. So that's awesome.
Yeah, because they make blocks.
Yeah,
they might actually literally
like
goon up the game.
They might actually literally come in all together. Like you would bring in that threesome together.
Wouldn't you try to do something just like to fuck with the other team? Like come on the court and just like jump, like literally wearing that shirt on the bench.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
I think
that is a really tough fucking lineup.
Marcus Morris gets kind of too much, Marcus Morris gets kind of too much credit for being this like defensive stopper. I mean, he wasn't really that impressive.
Not that great of a stopper. I just think he's really tough.
I mean,
I think
he never really, outside of the first game, he never really affected LeBron.
Yeah, no. And I also think LeBron gets his numbers pretty much no matter what.
Yeah, right.
Because, yes, there is nobody else. But at the same time...
Well, the way the NBA is set up right now, there's not really anything you can do to stop LeBron from doing that thing where he lowers his shoulder and drives into the lane.
Here's the other thing.
Because it's a foul.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, it's a foul, unless you literally just stand there.
What I was going to say, though, earlier, and I forgot about it, and I was going to tell you guys that, is the other reason why you dish it underneath, and you dish it, or you keep trying to drive to the hoop, LeBron already had 3 fouls in, like, the third quarter.
Yeah.
You keep... At a certain point, if it's a flagrant... I mean, obviously they didn't call the fucking foul on fucking Rozier.
Listen, they'll do anything they can. Like, LeBron comes over, help defense on Al Horford.
Right.
If LeBron hits him in the arm, they'll give the foul to Tristan Thompson.
Right.
Like,
he's only fouled out of one game in his career?
Yeah, they will not let him...
But
especially not in Game 7, they will not let him foul out.
No, but I'm just saying, I would force the refs to tell me he didn't foul.
The better thing, though, the better thing to do is they were in the penalty.
That's what I'm saying.
Very early in the fourth quarter.
Taking it in.
So you should have just been attacking the hoop nonstop because any little foul gets you to the line.
And I, lack of a better word, I blame that on the coach.
Yeah.
Not stopping your guys.
Well, I guess at some point you can't. If he's telling them,
no.
Hey, let's play inside out here. You know what I mean?
Understand
and
that, but
they don't. Jesus. All right.
It went everywhere.
All right, that was a wild thing. We definitely lost them. The slurp. The fucking slurp is back.
Every time.
The slurp is back. I don't like that. For some reason, Audacity stopped recording.
Technical difficulties.
A little technical difficulty. Wow.
That was vocal difficulties.
That was even worse.
Put up a poll on Facebook. What's worse, technical difficulties? The Audacity messing up or Dave trying to pronounce the word difficulties?
That was like purple.
So
you came back?
I don't think it's that.
No, that was an accident. That's the problem. We went to come back in, come in hot. Aaron opened up his drink, literally just sprayed it all over everything.
Yep.
So
yep.
We're back. So we'll probably lose this recording too. My computer. So
everything is gone.
That's all right.
I'll
get another one.
This is the end of the BS Nerds podcast.
It's just
forever.
I don't feel so well. So Aaron might get that reference. I don't know. I didn't see it. I don't know what the voice is. I just kind of filled that in. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so well. So So sports. So Boston.
It's not a spoiler. It's been out for over a month.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
haven't seen
Yeah,
it yet.
and it's literally a meme everywhere.
Yeah,
like
it's all good.
Yeah, it's all over the place. But yeah, no, I mean, really, the problem is that getting back to what we're talking about with the Celtics.
Yeah,
Brad Stevens may be telling them exactly what we were talking about, and then as we were kind of saying as we lost the recording or whatever, that you were bringing up just as we cut out.
Oh yeah, Brad Stevens has been telling them like, "Hey, don't go down the court and shoot the three the first with 20-some seconds left." He said it like a billion times. I've seen him say it,
right?
And like yell at Marcus Smart or Terry Rozier, like,
"Yeah,
guys, we can't just be taking the first three we have."
Right, and that's what there's the 2-for-1 situations which are tough, but I really just want them to run that with anyone other than Marcus Smart. Like, I don't want him running down there and be like,
Jason Tatum needs to shoot that.
Yeah. True that.
Well, also I was going to say, with Hayward and Kyrie on the court, maybe that's not happening. Right. Those guys look at it and go, no, like, we have a play set up. We're doing this.
1,000%, I believe, and I don't care if you're the biggest LeBron stan that's ever existed, Chad Dizzle-Davis. If Kyrie or Gordon Hayward is here, this series doesn't go to 7.
Absolutely. And even if it does, they win Game 7.
Yeah, because all of their road scoring troubles go away with a veteran scorer, with a veteran scorer. Al Horford is a veteran, but he's not a scorer.
Right.
They need a veteran scorer.
Yep.
And their road troubles go away.
Right. And like we've been saying it for weeks, and it was true when they were struggling on the road in Philly. Yeah. And they did win the one not Philly, I'm sorry, Milwaukee, but they did win the one in Philly. And their troubles with Cleveland also was just they're built like a bench team. Bench teams play better at home. The splits are always pro home,
young
away.
Teams don't play well on the road.
Right.
And they're a very young team.
Right.
But if they have that veteran presence with the ability to score, they win those road games.
Wildly discouraging. Like every quarter at the 5-minute mark, Cleveland would start a run.
Yeah.
Every time. Like it would get to 5 minutes, and I turn them like, hey, like, watch this. So they're going to go like on a 13-2 run here or whatever. That'd be like 9-0 or whatever. I'm like, God damn it, man! Like it was clockwork. Every 5 minutes left in the quarter, they just went on these nice little runs, and you're right, having a Kyrie there, just pull up, hit one 3-pointer, slow their run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just take the run.
Well, that was the other thing. Like Cleveland would get hot right when the Celtics are getting cold, and the Celtics would open looks and then just miss.
Right.
And that's the only way you can stop a run is by answering, and they would have the chance to answer and then just miss the shot.
Right.
That's when you need a guy who's going to close the game out.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie wasn't even there.
Yeah, he had deviated septum surgery.
Yeah,
which I've had, by the way.
Have you?
Little factoid for you. The only surgery
I need that.
Yeah, do you?
Oh yeah, I snore. I have probably sleep apnea.
I definitely snore.
CPAP.
Yeah, no,
CPAP.
No, not that bad. I don't breathe like that when I'm sitting here talking to you.
I do snore wildly. I don't think I need a CPAP, though.
No.
I think I just snore.
I think you just have a big neck.
It's that giant neck.
It's that big neck.
CPAP Dave.
CPAP Dave. I like it. Has anyone heard from CPAP Joe?
No. Oh, you know what? He got a tattoo recently.
Did he?
Literally, like...
Of a CPAP mask.
No. Literally, like, I want to say it might have been, like, on Saturday or Sunday. So, like, might have been, like, right around Game 7.
Yeah.
He went and got, like...
Celtics.
A crown with a diamond on it. And he hashtagged it King Diamond. So I asked him... and I just sent him, like, the band ? Yeah. And he's like, nah, man, it's just, like, a thing I've always wanted. And I'm like...
King Diamond.
He thinks he's King Diamond.
So he got
like king with a diamond. I don't. Okay. It's kind of like LeBron getting
I feel like I'm
the
taking
greatest
it on
his
right
chest.
Now. Yeah, right. Yeah. I feel like I'm taking my frustration out with that tattoo
that's
on
okay.
you, and it's not.
That's
your
okay.
fault.
I probably have a tattoo that frustrates you as well. Like,
I always wanted a tattoo. I just have no idea what to get.
Yeah, I think I figured out my tattoo. I'll save that for a more private.
I actually think I want to
Dave,
start...
if it's a Nick Swartzen joke, I don't want to see it. All right,
a bigger dick. Oh
no. My other one, my other dick is black.
I love that. That's a good one. I like that. I've always kind of spun off that joke and said that I want to get a tattoo of a bigger dick on my dick.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not going to say my tattoo I did now.
No?
I was going to, but now I'm not.
It's definitely a dick tattoo.
Not as funny. It was an ass tattoo. He just doesn't want. Now right. He's like,
I was going to get a tattoo right above my ass crack that says "Do not enter."
I like that one a lot.
Exit only.
Exit only.
I had a teammate that I played with. So, me, I got the Cadillac tattoo on my stomach.
Right.
I got my buddy.
I have Kia Power on mine. Did I show you?
I have my buddy says he wants to get a Daewoo symbol just to make fun of me. Like,
I always wanted to get caution flammable, like right above my junk. Yeah.
There you go.
So we had a guy that he had literally he
may
was
explode on contact.
Like 5'8", 300-pound black dude with a gut that just hung over his waist.
Yeah,
he literally had big, sexy tattooed on his stomach.
That's awesome.
But it wasn't big. Like, it was just like
very tiny letters,
kind of smaller lettering.
Sexy.
Just a ring around his belly button.
They actually should get it under his breasts, like kind of like around. This says big,
just
sexy.
Right above the belly button, but like only like 2 inches, 3 inches tall. Like nothing, not like so big.
Yeah, I want to get a big, sexy tramp stamp.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
And then
not a bad idea.
I had one of my running backs in high school has a tramp stamp.
Yeah.
Did he know it was a tramp stamp when he got it?
Oh yeah. I don't know what his deal is now, so I don't want to go into that too much. But and then another guy on my team.
I know.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that. And then another running back had literally tattooed on his stomach, "Apply lotion here," with an arrow pointing down.
Nice.
These are real people?
These are real people.
This is
Waterbury's finest.
Is this real life?
I started to tune out there, and I was like, "Oh, those are really cool ideas."
And then
I forgot, wait a minute, those are actually real people with real tattoos.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Is this real life?
I think I'm going to go with the acronym of what I've wanted.
Oh yeah. It's really good. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I like that better.
I want to get my idea was to start getting a sleeve.
You're going to be like slain down by all religious groups, but it's going to be a good idea.
I actually want to.
I actually like it.
I want to start a sleeve. I want to start a sleeve of my dog's faces.
Oh yeah,
all the way. Like as I get more, because I'm gonna have a fucking dog for the rest of my life.
Right.
Yeah.
So just like
I know a guy that has
like a mural.
just literally down my arm.
I have a guy that does. I knew a guy who's a Hell's Angel. He literally had all of his Rottweilers. He's got like 10 of them on one arm.
That's cool. I might get like Carter Deem's cats.
I know exactly what that reference is.
There you go.
Whenever I make a character in NBA 2K, I go through and I get all of the tattoos of girls that they have.
Yeah.
So they have like different
girl laying down.
Different tattoos of like black and white tattoos of women, and I literally put them all together on the arm as a sleeve.
That's cool.
So he literally has like a sleeve of
ladies.
Of ladies, yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
Different lady tattoos.
I like that.
Yeah.
Is he
usually on his left arm? The left is for the ladies.
Is he 6'11"? Is he 6'11", an albino with a small dick?
No, he's a.
That's an actual changeable thing in NBA 2K. You can choose dick size. That's real nice.
It's a slider. Actually, there is a game where your dick size is a slider. Saints Row.
Nice. Oh right, yeah,
it has
that's true.
A slider for. It's actually, I think it said attractiveness,
and it was your bulge.
And if you were a chick, it was how big your boobs were.
Right.
Nice.
That's cool.
No. Anyone get my reference
about the albino with the?
You remember what was it? Brendan Fraser, the movie where he has like the wishes and the devil.
Oh, Bedazzled.
Bedazzled.
Yeah,
and he's like one of them's like, I want to be a professional athlete. I want to be very successful.
Yeah.
And then he ends up being like sweating profusely, and he's this great athlete. It's full circle back to basketball. Is what I was trying to do.
I like the way you did that.
And he's like, and then he takes off his towel in front of the reporter, and she's like, oh, and starts laughing at him, and like walks away. He's like, oh.
Not Aaron Baines.
No.
The exact opposite of Aaron
Not
Baines.
well put together.
Not well put together. I think the Celtics have some interesting roster moves to make because as we were looking, I think now the thing that sucks, I can't remember if we did this off or on what was where we stopped, but the fact that Baines and Monroe were both free agents, Tice comes back, so you have an athletic big guy moving around back there. A lot of Tice talk, but
forgot about Tice.
Yeah,
and they didn't have Shane Larkin.
Never forget. Right, Shane Larkin could have helped there too. That's true.
I think he just could have gave a little bit of rest to Rozier. That's about it. They were running.
Maybe hit some shots,
they were running like a 7-man rotation at best.
Imagine if Shane Larkin was the guy who hits the shots in Game 7 and gets you to the final.
He
scores like
second
20 something points.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Like if he was like Kelly Olynyk last year, like we'll always have Game 7.
You know who they should go out.
We're just gonna ride. Hey, Terry, listen, we're gonna ride
the
out.
hot hand.
We're gonna ride the hot hand, Shane Larkin, for the rest of the game.
You know who they should go out and get? Like if you lose, like obviously if you like hypothetically you lose Smart and Rozier's really not like
you trade him for some picks or something.
Yeah, or something.
Right.
Go out and get the guy. What's the guy that's in Japan that's just or China that's just lighting it up? That was like great. He went
the Angelo Ball.
No.
The white kid?
I said lighting it up.
The white kid?
Yeah, the dude from BYU.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
I can't think of his name either, but yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Fournette or something to that effect.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it.
I can't think of his name, or else I would.
You know who I'm talking about.
I do, yeah.
Jimmer Fredette.
Jimmer Fredette. There you go. I was close.
There you go.
Not on, but close.
I'll take it. You led us to the path.
Yes. But a guy like him, he's instant offense off the bench.
Jimmy B's, yeah, absolutely. That's also not the guy that I thought they called buckets. Who was it? Oh, McDermott. They used to call.
He's still in the NBA. Plays for the Knicks, I think.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, if hypothetically that happens,
yeah.
I just want this to be noted. I said it.
There you go. Throw it out there.
I actually
planting seeds right now.
Although I don't think it's crazy. I think
Shane Larkin was playing overseas.
I think the idea I like is, you know how Belichick always like has like a list of guys that were like, I don't know, like round 1 draft picks or something like that that he liked that didn't end up on his team, and then when they become
available, you get them.
I think I want to treat Brad Stevens like that, because I want to see how players who have been unsuccessful other places come in with Brad Stevens and play in the system.
Yeah,
I was playing NBA 2K the other night,
right?
And I remembered Michael Carter-Williams. You remember Michael Carter-Williams?
Yeah.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah. Right.
Then just kind of never amounted to anything.
Sort of died. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of just bounced around the league. If he becomes a free agent, I would love to see him on the Celtics, because he's a big, athletic defender.
Yep.
Who can shoot. He's literally Marcus Smart, but bigger.
And can shoot.
Not as well. Not very well.
Did you just say not as well?
I almost said not as well as Marcus Smart.
He corrected
it. He's a better shooter than Smart.
But he's not a good. He's a pure
shooter.
He's not a good scorer like shooting. He's good at attacking the basket.
Yeah.
But I would like to see how he fits in Boston.
I think so too. That is a good fit.
If he became available and you didn't want to pay Smart, you could get Michael Carter-Williams.
Yeah.
And, if he buys in, you might be able to resurrect him a little bit.
Hey, where did he wind up? Miami? Was that the last place he was?
Charlotte,
maybe. Somewhere around there. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist?
Yeah, wow, he got paid a lot of money.
He did get paid a lot of money, that is true.
I had played against the Mavericks in my career thing.
Yeah. And
Harrison Barnes went the fuck off against me. Scored like 42 points. I'm not even kidding. It was just like randomly Harrison Barnes
night
dominated me.
Bobblehead night for Barnes. Not bad. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Celtics were so frustrating in Game 7. Like you said, I feel like they lost that game more than Cleveland won it. Cleveland did exactly what they had to do to win the series. I don't feel like the Celtics gave it to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
you came pretty close to giving it to them. You can't score 70 points and win a game.
But you're right. But you did that. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's you've got to hit those shots. Yeah. Like I don't say that the Celtics blew it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Here's what I'll say.
Cleveland was favored to win the series.
Do you think that they scored only 70 points because of Cleveland's incredible defense, or do you think it was because they
in Game 7? No. In Game 7, no.
The Celtics
blew it. In Game 6, yes.
Yes, the Cleveland played good defense at points in this series. Yep. Game 7 was not one of them.
No.
And the Celtics blew it.
Right.
The Celtics blew it.
Yeah, they just miss shots. I mean, I don't know. That's basketball. Like, sometimes you make them, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, but it's tough to have your bad game be Game 7.
Yeah, but that was true for everybody.
Here's the other
at home. Game 7 at home with the crowd behind you. It's tough to have your bad game.
Most of those games, nobody went over 100.
Is that true? I feel like there was a lot higher score.
The Celtics, you might be right. I think the Celtics went over 100 in Game 1.
They blew them out.
And I think Cleveland went over 100 in Game 3 when they blew them out.
Yeah.
Okay, so Game 1. Hold on. Okay, so Game 1, 108 to 83. I'm talking about the Cavs scores.
Okay, all right.
Second game, 107-94. This game proves me wrong, but it's one game.
Yeah, right.
Game 3, right?
Game 3, 116 to 86.
Yeah.
111 to 102.
All right.
96, 83.
Mm-hmm. That's Cleveland, right? 83?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And
that
then
was Game 5.
Cavs, Game 6, Cavs 109 to 99.
Right.
And then 87 to 79.
So
I'm just saying.
Look at their scores in Boston.
Yeah.
In Boston,
right.
they never scored more than 94 points.
Right.
Yeah. No,
right,
I'm just saying, not to
Cleveland.
say that, but like, as much as everybody's giving this credit to LeBron, just, oh my God, he took over the series.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you just said it. They're favored.
Right.
They were supposed to win this fucking series.
Right, yeah.
They weren't supposed to go to 7 games with the third string point guard.
Right.
And your best player just turned 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
LeBron James has been what? What was the year that he went to the finals?
For the first time?
For the first time. Was it like his second or third year?
06, I think. Yeah.
All right, so he was early.
Yeah.
But
That
it
was
was
with,
like 21, 22.
Is it Drunas Ilgauskas and
Delonte
Anderson
West.
Varejao and
Yeah.
Like
and
Eddie,
Taj Gibbs.
Eric
Eddie
Snow.
House.
Eric Snow.
Yeah, Eric Snow.
Yeah.
Eric Snow, the great. I got to the finals and didn't win with AI and LeBron
Yes.
James.
But that's my point. Like, he was supposed to win,
Right.
and he went to Game 7.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I struggle with this. I struggle with this narrative that he was supposed to win. I understand
No,
he was
my
favored.
point is, before the season started, it was always supposed
The
to
Cavs
be
were favored.
It was always supposed to be Cleveland,
Right.
Boston.
Right.
That was the narrative at the beginning of the season. Before Hayward fucking
Right.
got
5 minutes into the
shot
season.
by a fucking gun.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
before that crazy thing happened to him.
Even
that
healthy,
was
the Cavs were favored to win.
yes.
The East. Right.
So then you look at the Cavs, and then you get them there. All they're down is part of Game 6, like a quarter of Game 6,
Yeah.
and Game 7, their second best player.
Right.
And it took 7 games to beat a team that literally lost their 2 best players.
Yeah, but the thing is, I bought in.
No.
Right.
They overachieved, but it was also a letdown.
Yeah, but the
Right.
thing is,
Yeah.
An extreme letdown
That's a
because
good
you were
one.
like,
you're up
they're-
2-0.
Yes.
that's why I
Right,
struggle with this, because I was expecting them to not make it as far as they did, but some point between the start of the playoffs and where we are now,
Right.
I bought into them going to the finals.
This is kind of like what
So-
I keep repeating it, and I'm not trying to brag, but this is what I talked about a couple weeks ago, where they may just fall into the NBA Finals lap. You know what I mean? Like, that the East was so open. We sat here and talked about, if they can beat Milwaukee, I think they can beat Philly. If Philly wins their series, they can beat Philly.
Yeah.
Now, I thought it was going to go 7, but they beat Philly in 5. And I'm like, and the Cavs, at the time that we were having the conversation, the Cavs were losing to the Pacers.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't even know if the Cavs are going to get out. If it's the Pacers-Raptors, then the Celtics can beat either of those two.
Yeah.
And if it's the Cavs right now, they look as beatable as they've ever been.
I think if the Pacers are if it's Pacers Raptors, let's assume that the Raptors win.
Yeah.
I think that the Celtics literally walk into the NBA Finals.
Absolutely. Yeah, right. And that's how I felt, was not that the Celtics were the best team
You
in
want
the
to talk
East
about a
to go
team
to
that matches up terribly with the Celtics,
the Raptors.
the Raptors.
Yeah. That's how I feel about the Rockets.
Yeah.
I think if the Rockets won their series, if we got the Raptors and then Rockets, God forbid, just whatever happened. If everyone won the series they were supposed to, being the 1 seeds, and then except the Celtics.
Oh, I think the
upset
Celtics could win the
They
championship
would have won the championship.
if they played the Rockets.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's I don't know if they were that good. I don't know that I don't think they were an NBA championship team this year.
They are currently the second best team in the NBA, even with the loss to the Cavs. I think they are the second best team in the NBA.
Yeah.
The way the NBA is struck, the way the NBA is, because there's only 5 people on a court. Usually, it's the best player that wins, and that's what you saw.
Right.
But the Celtics are. Don't get me wrong. The Celtics are the second best team in the NBA.
Yeah. Well, that's
This current NBA.
Yeah.
Right now.
Right.
Celtics
Injuries
are-
and everything.
yeah.
Did you see the
Celtics are the second best team.
my favorite post, 5 minutes after the game's over, is just the picture of Hayward and Kyrie with their holding up their jerseys, and it's like the breaking news: Boston Celtics just signed 2 All-Stars to their roster
be back next year.
be there for next season.
That's so true.
Even Game 7, I think the Celtics win Game 7 probably 7 out of those 10 times. If you played a game 10 times, game 7 10 times, they would win it 7 of those times.
Right.
And this just happened to be one of those 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I also think, like, what I was trying to say earlier is, like, you had LeBron getting fouls.
Right.
Start making those other... okay, LeBron's not going to foul out.
Right.
Make fucking Jeff Green foul out.
Right.
No, he's the best player other than LeBron in their team night.
Tonight, yeah.
Make him foul out.
I like your idea, and it's not just because of the foul. It's because they were already in the bonus.
Yeah.
Make them go to the line.
But yeah,
but
also,
then
if you
half
start
your team can't shoot fucking... Other than Tatum and, like, Horford and even Baines... Everybody else is
but those are the guys that you would attack with.
Yeah.
Or Horford and Tatum.
Yeah. But Morris is an awful free throw shooter.
Yeah, he's
like 65%.
He was really bad. I don't think he typically is. I could be wrong.
No, he's not known for like being more than like 70%.
Yeah, but that's almost like average in the NBA.
Yeah. The Celtics actually shot themselves in the foot twice.
It was the first time.
They shot themselves in the foot in Game 7 and in Game 6.
Yeah.
Because in Game 6, I think they lost by like 9 points or whatever.
Yeah.
And they missed 10 free throws.
Oh, my God. And that's the game where they had 15 missed layups and dunks,
They had a bunch of missed layups and dunks. They had an absurd amount of
was that Game 4? Was that Game 4?
No, Game 6.
That was Game 6 with the missed dunks?
They missed a bunch of dunks.
Yeah. No, I think that was Game 4. So I think we talked about this last week.
Maybe.
Yeah, and they could have been up 3.
Yeah, because Game 5 they also had missed layups and dunks. And they still won.
Yeah. But Game 6 was really bad free throw game.
Yeah, Game 6 they couldn't hit free throws and they turned the ball over a ton.
Rapid fire.
I'll say this: numbers 0 and 7 this offseason, they need to hit the gym.
007?
Yeah. No, because he doesn't have a 00.
Just O and then 07?
07.
Oh, and then 07?
00.
That's what I really want. Yeah, hit the gym. Jalen did from year 1 to year 2.
But at the same time, for a guy that can jump out of the gym like he can, and as strong as he has become, he's still getting blocked on his fucking dunks.
Yeah,
Jalen, I actually don't. To me, the emphasis needs to keep going on whatever he's doing to improve his shooting. Just whatever he's doing to improve his shooting to turn into this. He
had a monster 3-point year.
40-point 3-point shooter, 40% 3-point shooter. He needs to keep doing that.
Right.
Because if he's lethal from shooting the ball, he's almost unguardable. Because he can blow by you and he can just hit the J in your face.
Yeah. Well, you're right. He's got to be able to finish around the rim, too. And he had a really tough time against Kyle Korver.
It's really frustrating. It's really tough because I had almost told myself, like, I'm expecting them not to make the finals.
Right.
And then I bought in at some point.
I know. It was house money. And then you're like, fuck.
Now I'm upset about it. But you should really, as Celtics fans, every time a Cleveland fan chirps you, you should turn to them and you should say, you should enjoy this last season while it lasts.
Right.
If you're honest to God a Cleveland fan.
Right.
Because we are going to be here.
Right. For a long while.
A long time. Like, you're going to get annoyed with the fact that we are constantly this far in the playoffs because we're only getting better.
Right.
And there's actually, I don't see an end to this in sight.
Right.
Like, they could lose Marcus Smart tomorrow. They're still the favorite to win the East.
Right.
Even if LeBron comes back to Cleveland.
Right.
I would put the Celtics as the favorite to win the East.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And odds are, I think he's going west. Which a lot of people say is a dumb move. I think it's a dumb move for LeBron, but I think he's going west. I think he's had enough with Cleveland.
Yeah. I think he's going to go west, but I think it's a bad choice.
I think he's going west.
Houston. I was going to say, I've bought into that.
I feel... I did read a report that I guess Chris Paul's already actively recruiting him.
Yeah, and LeBron
he's a free agent,
publicly.
though, Chris Paul.
He'll sign back.
No, I'm not saying he doesn't, but he could go to L.A. if he wants.
Right.
That makes no sense for him because Ball's already there.
Right. Yeah. That'd be interesting.
You know what, though?
Could go to the Clippers together.
If I was... I
don't think Doc would... I'm not saying that he wouldn't want to coach LeBron. I just don't think LeBron would buy into what Doc's selling.
What I would do if I was Houston is I would say, listen, you could go to L.A. with LeBron, right? Or How about we take care of your Lonzo Ball problem for you? You sign back with Houston. We trade you to the Clippers, to the Lakers for Lonzo Ball.
Mm-hmm. You think Magic would do it?
I would.
Hmm.
You think the Lakers are going to win that? Because you have LeBron's window.
If it means you get LeBron and Ball together, yeah, right, yeah. That's tough, though, because Ball is supposed to be like that. And you're trading what they did.
And I know he's been really quiet, so it's been tough to talk about it. But you get rid of your LeVar Ball problem.
Right,
too.
right, yeah. Got little thing here, little tiny thing. I did the social media second, but I did it on Instagram as opposed to Facebook.
Throwing a curveball.
Check that out. So, I threw it out there.
It's been a while since we've heard that.
Yeah, right? We haven't done one of those in a long while. I threw out, is this team going to be in the finals next year? The Celtics. Picture of the Celtics. Your options were hell yes or wishful thinking.
Hell yes, yes. Definitely, and...
Y, comma, comma, S, comma.
Yeah. Yes.
There were four answers. They were all yes.
They're all yes. We got 100% vote for hell yes, including Ryan Davey of the hashtag Dork Podcast.
Really?
Yeah, he voted. He chimed in, voted there, which was nice.
Nice.
And also, cool little factoid for you, which I learned on social media, which I liked. Not necessarily something I did.
Do we get a lot more engagement on Instagram? Or no?
Depends.
I think if we stayed busier on there, we would.
Well, what do you want me to do? Start talking to me,
nipples.
Nipples?
All right,
you got
Facebook's like a
Hold on.
platform.
Let me take a photo.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm take a photo.
Instagram is big time.
Yeah, Instagram's
right
it.
Now.
That's the move. Jason Tatum ends the playoffs with 351 points. That's the second most points scored by a rookie ever in the playoffs. The only person who scored more was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with 352.
Oh, so he missed him by 1 point.
Yeah.
The greatest scorer of all time missed him by 1 point in the NBA playoffs.
I'm telling you, I would not. I honestly, and people are going to call me crazy.
I'm not touching him.
You could legit offer me
LeBron James,
anything you wanted for Jason Tatum, and he is honestly untouchable.
Right. You could give me the Warriors all on $10 million per year contracts, and I would just be like, I'm taking Tatum. I'm fucking sticking with him.
He's just going to be so good.
He's going to be that guy. I like him a lot. I think Jalen has become more expendable now that I've seen Tatum man up in the playoffs.
And you were so hard on him.
I like Jalen.
You were like, man, this guy.
Yeah.
When he was coming out of college, you were like,
yeah, the guy's an athlete. That's what I always. If he can learn to shoot, he'll be a really good player. He'll be a really good player, and he did. And I think he is a really good player. And he's sort of like Klay Thompson-ish, where he plays really good defense.
Mm-hmm.
I want him back.
I want them both.
Right? Yeah, I want them both. Unless you can get Carl Anthony.
Yeah, just double down on
that. Literally, actually,
there's probably just keep tweeting
it. There's only two players that I would make that trade for.
Yeah,
they're both
Porzingis.
Nope.
Ooh, nope. Whoa! You wouldn't trade Jalen for Porzingis?
Nope. I don't know. I actually don't know if Porzingis will ever be the same.
How the mighty have fallen, Porzingis.
I don't know if Porzingis will ever be the same after
David Fizdale.
The knee injury, though.
He's got him.
Take that for data.
The knee injury, it's not good for big men.
I like that he's in New York.
I do too.
Like, I think that's a good market for him for the simple fact that, like, nobody has any expectations other than, Porzingis actually have a good season.
Yeah, they also have, like, the worst owner in all of basketball. So,
that's also true.
That's great.
But
they don't have fucking idiot there as the man.
Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis is the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would trade Jalen.
I would
make that same trade for Karl Anthony Towns with Anthony.
You wouldn't do Tatum?
No.
Because some people said no.
Was that video fake?
What video? It must have been.
He still has it, right?
It's really weird. I don't know.
It was an April Fool's joke.
It's an April Fool's joke he did the day before April Fool's, and that's where I was like, maybe this is real, because it wasn't on April Fool's Day. I knew he dropped the phone, and I knew that was wildly suspicious, but I was like, well, I guess like it could happen. I don't know.
But it showed him like without it.
don't know if it's just like makeup real quick.
Yeah,
like
he probably just put makeup over
Deuced it up there.
But yeah, it's not.
Then don't trade for him.
Then don't trade. He's back on the list. All right, good.
No, he's not on the list. There's certain people. Like, I work with a guy that looks like fucking Sideshow Bob. Cut your hair, man.
Yeah.
Look presentable.
Just do something.
I would. That's the only other person.
Right.
Yeah. Like that dude in, was it Phoenix or fucking the Magic? That's got that horrible hair that like comes up and flops on his head.
Oh, Verjao.
No,
Lopez.
Alfred Payton. Alfred Payton.
Alfred Payton. Yeah, okay, yeah.
That has like
he cut his hair.
The guy looked awful.
And then there's Josh Jackson too.
Josh Jackson, maybe? I don't know. Those fucking guys, they're all ridiculous.
It was Alfred Payton.
They look stupid.
It was like a forward ponytail that hung in his face, and he actually couldn't shoot because of it.
I remember
he cut his hair.
Josh Jackson's hair.
Like how short?
So it's not like that at all. It looks like a kind of like a little mini afro. Like it's like very short.
Okay, like I'm okay with that. Like just keep it nice.
It almost looks like Anthony Davis's.
You're making how many millions of dollars? Like dress the part.
So I remember you hated Josh Jackson's hair coming out of the draft.
Might have been him
too. Yeah.
Alfred Payton cut his hair, but Anthony Davis is the.
He still has the unibrow. Fuck him.
He can guard multiple positions.
What about DeMarcus Cousins? You wouldn't do it for DeMarcus Cousins? I think he's actually a better center.
DeMarcus Cousins?
Yeah.
But I think DeMarcus Cousins might be, but I think Anthony Davis fits the Celtics more.
Agreed.
I also think
like that.
If you could get Cousins, it's not a bad deal. Yeah, that fucking
It's Alfred Payton.
That looks stupid.
I like that.
And he would literally like go down the court and you would see him have to kind of like bump his head a little to get it out of his eyes. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Real shooting troubles. So, yeah, I guess I would say next week. I don't know. The Celtics kind of.
That's what he looks like now.
Oh, good.
God, he looks weird.
Good. He looks like a child.
Oh God, he looks weird.
He cut his hair. Yeah,
I don't like it.
He looks to me. He kind of looks like Anthony Davis.
But that's what I'm saying. He looks like a mini.
Yeah. He does.
But you think he's gonna be nasty next year with that short hair?
Yeah, watch him be like the best 3-point shooter in the league.
Yeah,
I felt it.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Look at his dab.
Usually there's two.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I usually sneeze in twos. But
that might be
apparently not.
That might be the show name. I usually sneeze in twos.
Yeah, just not in my apartment.
Look at my dad.
Only sneezes once.
There you go. So we got Red Sox first place, 4 games up.
They're 4 games up.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm sorry. 4 games up in the win column. They're 2 games up.
They're 2 games up.
They've played 4 more games than the Yankees. They won all of them.
Really? I thought.
Did you see?
For some reason, I was trying to follow like back and forth, like Red Sox went, and I feel like the Yankees have just been like
real good and the
keeping
Red Sox
up with them.
Yeah, no,
it's like it was like the Red Sox would win a game, the Yankees would win a game. The Red Sox would lose a game, the Yankees would lose a game. So I thought they were like maybe
just
the Red Sox have like a game on them.
No, they're 2 full games, 4 games up in the win column, tied in the loss column.
Did you see Price? What happened to him? Did you see what happened to Price?
No.
First, you're talking about taking off the chest?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Took a fucking line drive off the chest, still threw the guy out at first.
Right.
Comes back out for the next inning, kind of looks like a little rough, but then finishes pitches 5 innings.
Yep.
After the game, did you hear his comments?
No.
So, total Dumb and Dumber situation.
I saw this.
You go and do something so stupid, and you totally redeem yourself with the shot to the chest and making the play and staying in the game and finishing. Only went 5 innings, but he went back out there and pitched a whole nother.
The Red Sox have also been doing that.
Goes in the locker room after the game, and they start asking him like, "Do you think something about like?" I think they asked him like, "Oh, it's do you feel better that you were able to stay in there and kind of gut it out and
some soft, right?
Yeah,
the softest player.
He goes, no, because I'm the softest player on the Red Sox.
I'm the softest.
They didn't even ask him. Like they were trying to give him credit for being tough, staying in the game, and he just doubles down. And then they say they like, oh well, LeBron. They bring up something about LeBron, and he's like, no, like I'm the weakest guy. Like I just get the pollen messes with me and this.
He's like, and then sometimes it's cold.
Yeah, sometimes it's cold.
Sometimes I can't feel my fingers.
Yeah,
and he's
he
like
just
going through the whole thing.
You know what?
But he's only doing it now that he's fucking pitching well.
I've turned the corner on David Price.
You like him?
Yep.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Trade that cocksucker.
No, listen. I understand where he's coming from because he can't do anything right.
Because he fucked himself.
Because
it's all his own fault.
He'll never have the media on his side, so he doesn't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's at that point.
This is what it was.
I think he should have got to that point a long time ago.
This is what he says. You know me. I'm the softest guy in this clubhouse. If it bothered me, I'd be out of the game. I'm soft. It wasn't painful. I'm fine. If it was painful, I would have come out because I'm the softest player in this clubhouse.
Yeah, I like him.
Right. I think it's dumb. Here's how he follows up. I'm sorry. Yeah, I wasn't coming out of the game. I can't. I'd rather blow out my arm. Or no, I'd rather blow out there. I'd rather blow out my arm out there than come out. That's just where we're at. He added, I'm soft, period. It's not a joke. I'm soft. No, I'm soft. It's cold. I can't pitch. My hands are tingling. Can't do my job. That's it.
Yeah.
No. But would the media be as tough on him as they are?
Yes.
Without the stuff that he said about Eckersley?
I don't care.
No. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I think he would still catch shit when he pitched horrible.
The media is going to be tough on him because he's
thing.
$200 million and he hasn't been pitching well.
But that's on one. That part of that's him. That's something he can legitimately change.
But it's also the way that Boston. It's also the way that Boston media is. It's just the way. Listen, Boston media shit talks.
Al Horford.
Boston media will. Let's say you've been the greatest player here. You get traded away, they will destroy you.
Yeah, you get fucking...
They will literally bring up any bad thing you've ever done that's never been in the light. They will throw it out there. You are suddenly... Terry Francona got dragged after he left. And
Which I don't agree with.
He was a great...
But that's not the media. That's the
owner.
It
is the media.
They got to publish
it's
the story.
Media.
Someone's publishing the story.
Yes, but it's also the owner of the fucking Red Sox owns that fucking newspaper and tells them to put that out there.
But he didn't at the time.
The media, Boston...
He just bought that.
No, that was right around the same time.
No, John Henry just bought the Globe like 3 or 4 years ago.
It was after, but it doesn't matter. I mean,
but he was always...
he had a relationship with
him. Right.
It doesn't matter, though. It's Boston media has a terrible reputation for this going back for a long time.
It's a tough place to play.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. That's an interesting thing about... The Eckersley thing definitely doesn't help.
Because Eckersley is a media.
It was a personal... It was like you fucked with the Brotherhood, kind of. That's an interesting topic. I don't know. I think both of you are right. I think with Eckersley going...
I just think he doubled...
He didn't... I'll put it
didn't help himself.
Yeah, he has done absolutely nothing to help his reputation with the media.
Yeah.
He has never tried.
No, yeah.
He's never tried. And now, then to say, but you guys dog me all the time.
Yeah, call them out for their... listen.
But you never tried to make that relationship either.
It doesn't matter. Now, listen. The media...
If you treat the media like shit first, right? If you treat them like shit... Bill Belichick's the only guy that treats the media like shit and people still suck his dick.
No, they don't. Yeah, but the media treats him like shit too.
No, but they all laugh at his jokes and they
some
all
of them,
right. Some people don't like him.
But there are guys in Boston that rip Bill Belichick.
Ron Borges, and what do? We laugh at Ron Borges all the time.
There are 2 guys who have a fucking drive time radio station that's #1 in Boston and they constantly rip Bill Belichick.
I agree. I agree with when I watch Bill Belichick. I'm like, you pompous ass. Just. I prefer the no comment and don't say anything else. Mm-hmm. But he'll say no comment and then kind of like, he doesn't.
When he did, you know what I didn't like was the Seattle to every question. I liked we're on to Cincinnati because it was like we're moving on. Okay, I'm not talking about this. If you want to talk about the game, talk about the game. We're on to Cincinnati. Whatever, that's fine. The Seattle was just like he wasn't even letting people finish their question. You know what I mean? Like the guy, they're there to do their job too. Yeah. You know, and it was just Seattle. Like as they're like, what do you think about Brady today? Seattle, like to everything. I'm like, I don't know. So I think he's funny. I don't think he owes the media anything. I think it's a stupid thing that you have to talk to the media as a sports team.
I don't think anyone owes the media anything. And I actually think media gets up their own ass about a lot of things where they expect people to treat them a certain way. And but they're allowed to rip people to shreds, and you're not allowed to react to them in any certain way.
That's true. It is a one-sided relationship.
Yeah,
that
but
is true.
And it's true. But they're allowed to do their job. Like, I'm just doing my job, but I'm not allowed to react to you doing your job, even if it means you're coming at me.
Yeah, but
so David Price pitches badly in Boston, gets paid a lot of money, pitches badly. He'll admit it. We'll all admit it. He pitches badly. They rip him to pieces.
Right.
Then when he doesn't, let's say he gets hurt, I don't want to go out there and play through an injury and pitch badly because you guys will rip me to pieces. So I'm just going to come out.
But I will say one thing to kind of say, okay, this is where maybe your theory is a little bit off, is perfect example. Dave absolutely can't stand Dustin Pedroia and gets attacked by people. And the media guys tend to stand up for him because he's a dirt dog and he does this and he's the heir apparent to the captain and blah 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 blah.
Because Dustin Pedroia
is good to the media.
Played the media.
My point
went with them.
I'm not saying you have to kiss their ass, but just don't go in there and then when you're already getting ripped for being overpaid and not performing and you're constantly having issues and then you double down and go,
that's why I
call out the media guy that wasn't even ripping him, was just critiquing his pitching, which is what he did, which got him into the Hall of Fame. It's different when it's just a writer, a guy that's never played the game, and all he ever does is sit there and just jot down notes. It's another thing when the guy's job is he was a professional athlete, he made it to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, the Dennis Eckersley thing wasn't even about David Price, though. It was about someone else.
Right. He was
critiquing the fielding or something like that.
He was critiquing the team, which is his job.
It was it was another player.
I think it was E-Rod.
And David Price attacked him for it.
Right.
But that's my point. You're not going to gain any. He could sit down and have a conversation with Eckersley and be like, "Why you got to do that?"
That's my point, though. There's two ways David Price could handle this. He could be turned into Dustin Pedroia.
No, I don't think you need to be that. You just don't need to be a piece of shit either.
Try and turn the media on him, or he does what he did and he calls out the media.
But he didn't also call him out in front of other media members. He called him out in front of
the post-game conference.
No, it was on the.
No, you're talking about Dennis Eckersley.
Yeah,
I'm talking about this last comment.
This is his first time doing that. Like I'm talking about, he went after. That's why he's still catching shit from the media, catching shit from me for his comments the other day. That him being nobody brought up your fucking being soft.
I think he did it at the wrong time.
But the thing is, there's two ways to look at the Eckersley thing. He attacked Dennis Eckersley, or he defended his teammate.
Right.
You look at it as attack Dennis Eckersley, and I actually look at it the same way. He attacked Dennis Eckersley.
Right.
But to his team, he was defending his teammate.
Supposedly a lot of teammates had his back.
But here's the other thing. Pedroia stood up for him.
Right.
Because no one... Here's the thing. Boston fans care about Dennis Eckersley. No one on that baseball team gives a fuck about Dennis Eckersley.
No, I get that.
Because he's just another media guy. And they don't care... Outside Dustin Pedroia, who has this great friendship with the media, a lot of players just don't care about the media. They don't.
Here's the other thing. So to kind of go along with that same concept, if they ask, hypothetically, they ask Nomar, they ask Pedro, hey, in this game, what did you see that they did wrong? And he does it, and then he starts yelling and screaming and calling him out on shit.
Yeah,
and it wasn't him that he... My point is, you have to look at him as this guy. Here's the problem. David Price, and this is just me being me, you're never going to be a fucking Hall of Famer. You're overpaid. You don't produce. Why are you going to pick on a guy that was underpaid, did longer fucking pitch way longer than you're ever going to pitch?
Because he's not looking at Dennis Eckersley as Dennis Eckersley. He's looking at
But
Dennis
that's my
Eckersley
point. But the difference is, Dennis Eckersley is a guy that fucking did do what you do. And just didn't even critique it in a bad way.
Yeah, but he did. It wasn't a normal thing. I remember the situation. Dennis Eckersley was literally yuck. Like he was very. It wasn't like a normal critique. It was above and beyond.
It wasn't like here's where they need to do this.
I think it was like an audible groan about what was happening.
All right, would you like him to say, "Oh, that sucked," or go?
That was kind of what he did, though.
Yeah, it was sort of
No, but that's the point.
As opposed to him saying, if you're Hanley Ramirez, you got to make this play here. You got to step to your right. Like it wasn't an analysis. It was just like, I'm disgusted by this.
Yeah,
but if he didn't say outright, I'm sorry. Like I do that all the time. I get called out by my girlfriend because I make noise. I sigh.
Right.
It's my fucking reaction when I see something I don't like.
Yeah, that's why instead a lot of people like Dennis Eckersley because he's like that.
But
he's very real.
Yeah, but also it's not being
watching him.
But it's also not being overly disrespectful. It's just being honest. If the play looked like shit and he didn't go, well, that was awful, he just goes, ugh, and then starts talking about something else,
right.
Yeah, he's disappointed, but he's not hammering you.
I just don't think that the two...
I understand that I went hard on Eckersley and like not on anything else, but since he's gotten here, like Dave said, he has done nothing to help himself.
Right.
He's a fucking idiot.
But the thing is, now he's doing something to help himself. He gets hit in the chest. He still goes out there and pitches well. And in his mind, it doesn't matter because he doesn't like the two-facedness. You're going to talk shit on me all this other time, but when I do good, you're just going to come around and kiss my ass. I don't want that.
No,
Either
but they
you're
weren't
with
even.
me.
They weren't
but
even.
How
they
is that
were,
two-faced if it's an honest journalism? You can't be mad that if you pitch like shit, they rip you, and then when you do a nice thing, they talk nice to you. That's not two-faced. That's emotion.
But he's saying,
calling a spade a spade.
I can't. So you're going to ask me questions about getting hit and staying in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but I'm soft. Your last report was I can't. I'm soft. I'm soft, so I can't. I'm not supposed to get hit in the chest and stay in.
The last report was you couldn't feel your hand. The last report was you couldn't feel your hand. The pollen was too high.
Right.
I can't pitch.
You call me soft.
No, because he is.
But I could take a fastball to the chest and stay in the game and pitch 5 innings.
All they did was ask him if he was happy he was able to stay in there. Due to the fact that during the season, his hand goes numb, he can't finish an inning. They're asking him legitimate questions.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think...
all he had to say was, yeah, it was a good play.
I think David Price pulls himself out of a game when his hand goes numb because he's worried that if he stays out there and pitches like shit, he's going to get attacked. So he'd rather pull himself out and go out there when he knows he can perform.
Yeah, but if you're saying that he doesn't care anymore and he's trying to rip them back, he wouldn't care what the fucking media. He doesn't care what the media says.
He's all over Twitter.
That's my point.
That's why I like when he goes back at the media.
He's two-faced then. Because you can't get mad when you go online when a million people tell you, man, that was a great job. You went out there and fucking gutted it out. And then 1,500 people go on there and flat out go, well, you're still soft. I'm sorry. He listens to the bad and none of the good.
He listens. I 100% agree that he listens. But he doesn't want to.
I'm very torn on this. I like both of you guys' points a lot.
Just trade him. Trade him.
How do we get there? How do we get to this point?
That fixes the problem.
He's been really good.
I am not trading him.
You already traded the guy in the okay, so his teammates love him, right? That's the word around
I don't even
town.
like David Price.
No, I know. I just
like that he's going at the media.
I understand
because there's this narrative where players can't do that.
You already traded a guy that was beloved in the fucking clubhouse because you didn't think that he was giving you what you needed.
It's Cora's decision.
Yes. So if the manager looks at it and he just keeps fucking being an idiot and he gets you only 5 innings and he's
which guy are you referring to?
I'm talking to Price now.
I thought you were talking about Hanley, right?
Yeah, it was originally. My point is, you already let a guy go,
right?
Because you were like, listen,
has he been picked up?
No,
not that. No. Yeah.
But my point is, if you're doing that, and you already let that guy go because you're like, listen, you're just not giving us what we need. If you can make that decision with Price too,
but he is giving you what you need.
But yes and no.
He's been good. He's been good lately.
Yes and no. I
since
think
the Yankees start, he's like, I want to say he's like 5-2, and he's had a wild amount of innings.
Those two are awful, Dave.
right. And
I'm gonna focus on the negative with him. I'm sorry,
be swinging a little high on him, but he's been good his last few starts. He had his best start as a Red Sox against the Orioles, which wasn't that impressive, but the 9 innings.
My point is, if you're so worried about the media. And you're worried, and here's the other thing. He is soft for the simple fact that he's worried that the fans hate him.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. He is mentally as weak of a person as
he's LeBron James. He reads all the tweets. He's Kevin Durant making fucking, shadow fucking accounts to talk good about himself.
To me, him directly responding to the media guys saying, but I thought I'm soft, is the least soft thing he's done since he's been here.
That is true.
Okay, but here's the next thing. The next game, he's going to go out there and he's going to shit a brick. A complete brick.
Now, if he gets
and
hurt
look
with a hangnail,
stupid. That's my point. If you already are on fucking thin ice with the fucking media, you're going to make it so they fucking really harp on you every time you do something stupid?
That is true, yeah.
What happens if he gets a fucking blister on his finger, pulls a fucking Josh Beckett, I can't go out there?
is not a good look.
Oh,
it's very similar
tunnel.
to the Dustin Pedroia. Who's the leader? I am. I'm here. No one else is taking questions.
Can I go
just
home now?
me. Can I go home now? And then
he's going to do that,
and then get hurt the next night. You know what I mean? Like I know you can't help it.
Maybe he does it. Maybe he goes out there and he keeps giving you good starts.
Right, that could be true. He's won 4. Oh no, I'm sorry. He's won 3 of his last 4 starts. The team won that game that he didn't get the decision in. He's been good.
Nothing about him impresses me.
Yeah.
As a player and as a member of the Boston Red Sox.
I think his point when he went at the guy was, you guys call me soft for these things when I'm trying to do what I think is the best decision.
He also
me coming out of the game.
Yeah.
Right.
For the best decision for the team is that I don't pitch because I don't have it. I don't whatever it is I need.
Right.
My hand's numb for whatever reason. I can't feel my hand. It's not good for me to go out there and pitch.
Right.
But I
could pitch through the chest. Like, obviously, I can take a fastball off the chest and finish this game because I feel like I have it. Mm-hmm. Instead of you telling me how I am,
right,
and calling me soft, how about I tell you?
I do.
Maybe I'm just. That's why I liked it, because to me, this is the least soft thing he's done.
Right.
And I would rather him go down this road where he's just going to do
total media heel,
all-out war with the media and be able to pitch, than him. If constantly worry about what everyone says.
If he, that I do like that a lot. He might be able to just focus on being the best player he can be, and just say to hell with everyone. You know what I mean?
I would rather him go all the way in the I don't care if they like me direction.
I'd agree with you.
Then stay with the.
I would agree.
I want them to. Like
I will
me.
agree with you. If next game he goes out there and pitches well, and they start asking him questions, he goes, guys, like.
Right.
Let's just.
Yeah, I want him to stick with it.
No. But if he goes back at it again, guys, I'm soft, right? Then I'm going to say, dude, shut the fuck. You're LeBron James. You're crying too much. Go home.
I'm right in the middle.
I would rather him just go.
If I can create a visual, I always say Joe's to my left, Aaron's to my right, which would mean that I'm in the middle. This is exactly how I feel about this topic. There is Aaron on one side saying, if you dare say I'm soft, I'm done with you. And Joe's like, I want you to tell him how fucking soft you are.
No, I just think at a certain point,
I want him to. I would rather him go 100% full media heel and rub their nose in it every time he has a good start and not give a fuck
and be just the most hated player.
And just put it, because he's worse when he's thinking about what everyone else says.
Right, that's true.
I would rather him just go.
I
don't care.
This shows you that he does.
I know, but this also shows you that I'm going to double down and make sure that everyone. Yeah, I would rather you hate me.
I am now putting on the cape. I'm putting the mask on.
No, but that just tells me he's just like Kevin Durant. He's like LeBron. He's
Kevin Durant hides it. He goes in different accounts.
But my point
LeBron hides it.
If you keep saying it,
it
means you're thinking about it.
You know who doesn't hide it?
It means all you're doing is focusing on the negative.
Motivation.
No, but I understand that the Patriots do that. They put shit up in the locker room that's negative, you have to go, I'm going to prove this guy wrong. At the end of the day, you're a professional fucking athlete. You get paid $200 million a year.
Yeah.
What Joe, Dave, and Aaron say about you shouldn't really apply to you.
But
but it does because he's soft.
He listens to the Boston Sports Nerds podcast, everybody.
You're saying it as if he's looking at it and actually taking it into account.
Him in a tweet.
Taking it into account. What I'm saying is,
people don't forget.
What I'm saying is, he's not actually being affected by it. He's just throwing it back.
Yeah, he's just spewing the same shit.
He's reading it.
Yeah.
But instead of it affecting him, he's just laughing it off at them.
Hypothetically,
I did not realize we were going to get into this like this, and I really like this conversation.
No, so hypothetically, though, he goes out there and he does it again, and it's to somebody that's like, he's the only fucking David Price apologist in town.
Did he pitch
And that's
good?
the guy. Yes, hypothetically.
All right.
He goes out there and pitches well.
Yeah.
Well, he goes 6 and fucking gives up 3, and they fucking win 5-3.
I think their inning limit, just as a precursor, the fact that
Cora's
everyone's
been
that's a
keeping
Cora
people
controlled
at
thing.
5.
No. I'm just saying. Hypothetically, he goes out there and he pitches 103 pitches in 6 innings. Yeah. Like, they have a pitch count on him.
Right.
Because I'm sorry, Sale can go 6-7 innings and only pitch 93 pitches.
Right.
So there's certain guys.
David
Price can if he's actually on.
Yeah.
But my point is, say he goes out there and he does okay. Mm-hmm. Doesn't have a great game, but
6
he also
innings,
is not a bad game.
Gives up 2 earned runs.
Both home runs.
Yeah,
whatever.
They pull him out.
And it's, and whatever. and then he goes out there, and the one guy in town that's like
rub his nose in it.
No, but
that's what honestly. No, that's what I wanted to do.
One guy in town that's his like one supporter.
I don't care.
Asks him a question just about like, hey,
how's Astro doing?
No, or no. But if it just goes out there and like, man, you really gutted out that last inning. You were starting to struggle there, but you were able to finish the inning. How did that? And he just goes, "I'm soft, right?" Like then the guy just like. Fuck it, man.
Circle against the square. That's
no, but at that point,
that's what I want him to do.
No, but at that point, you're fucking yourself. You're fucking yourself.
That's what I want him to do.
Because here's the other problem:
go full heel.
Yeah, but he's too soft for that. My point is, he's too soft for that.
But to me, that's him going away.
A wall.
No. I get that, but my point is, eventually, he's going to start saying stuff that they write in their articles, and then it's going to be like. Oh, this motherfucker's reading everything. He's still reading because it still bothers him because he's fucking soft. But then he's going to start fucking up in the play because hypothetically he pitches out the rest of the regular season great, and then he goes in the postseason and fucking just lays a fucking egg like he always does as a starter.
Right. Chris Sale though.
What do you do? What do you do then? You can't. There's no leg to stand on there. You had a great regular season.
I would argue that he already doesn't have a leg to stand on. So to him, he's not losing anything.
So.
You know what I kind of want?
He's all about the money. If he's all about the money, does he stay?
No.
I was just going to say, he might.
If he pitches well enough, he'll pitch himself right off the team.
Yeah.
No, but hypothetically, he looks at it, and then all the offers come in, and he's just like, I mean, I can stay.
Right.
But if he pitches,
$30 million.
As much as you hate David Price, you want him to pitch well. Because if he...
I don't.
Yes, you do.
Because you want him gone.
I want him gone at this point.
Right.
Then you want him to pitch well.
No, I want him to be so bad that, I want his arm
Then he's going to stay.
He's going to
opt in.
I want him to have, no feeling in his hand and he can't pitch anymore.
Yeah,
he's going to opt in.
Yeah, if I'm on the books and I have the opt-in, I would stay.
Once again, this is my point.
Right.
You're already paying Pablo to be a fat slob on a fucking beach.
Right.
Or to be a fat slob in
fucking
San Francisco.
You want them to just keep paying him.
There's no cap. There's no cap.
Right. But
there's no cap. We don't care. Let's pay him to get the fuck out of town.
Nah, I don't want
that.
It's the same thing with Dustin Pedroia. If you come into the clubhouse and you're a fucking cancer, get the fuck out. I'll pay you to go home.
I don't want that. I also don't think there'll be a problem with Dustin Pedroia in the clubhouse this year.
I think with Cora there.
Yeah,
because they played together.
Yeah, they're buddies, yeah.
But my point is, Joe's always says that. There's no cap. There's no problem.
I'm
Pay
everyone in baseball.
I'm all for fucking sending him home just so I don't have to see his fucking face.
I don't like
because he's that bad.
I am actually. Aaron's right. I'm 100% in the pay.
That's such a good fucking point.
In the pay everyone thing.
Right.
I
pay him to go home.
I don't like,
especially if he's bad.
I don't
go
like
home.
Paying people who aren't actually playing for your team.
I get that, but at the same point, it's the same point of, well, we made a bad decision there. Goodbye. You're not going to get another fucking
now it's just
deal.
Dead money.
Yes, but at the same point, there's dead money on every team. You're not the only team that's paying a guy to do
it is the thing
that though. They're going to have $100 million.
It is the thing that causes me to go to Fenway and get like a $14 beer because they're paying Pablo Sandoval $100 million.
Right.
Yeah, at the same time,
San Francisco.
Yeah, but at the same time,
AAA team or whatever.
They didn't have to sign him for that much money.
No, they did.
Pablo Sandoval, they didn't have to pay.
Let's look at this. If let's just say David Price, they do this. He fucking breaks his arm, whatever, and he's like, fuck it, I'll just opt in now. Just now they got to pay me. They'll have Hanley.
Yep.
Fucking Pablo.
Yep.
David Price.
Craig Allen.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of other guys.
There's a bunch of them.
Ruby's,
the Cuban guy. Rusney Castillo. Yep, down in AAA. Crazy.
There's a bunch of guys.
They're going to have the Houston Astros payroll in dead money.
Yeah, dead money.
Just fucking dead money.
They own Liverpool.
Start
taking some money from them. I don't care.
But wasn't that was all that one offseason?
Yeah, that was. I think Rusney, Price, and Hanley were all the same year, right?
And Sandoval, right?
And Sandoval, yeah.
And Sandoval, yeah. What a bad year.
Yeah.
Was it the same GM?
That was the same GM. No, it's not Dombrowski. That was the guy in between Theo and Dombrowski, but that sounded just like Theo Epstein.
It was a terrible offseason.
Yeah, I remember
that was real bad.
My point is, if it's that fucking bad with him and he doesn't give you enough,
I know you're saying you don't want it, but you want him to pitch well because he'll leave the team. He's gone. Yeah.
No, but my point is, here's my point.
He'll opt out. Someone else will pay. The Red Sox will be like, it doesn't matter what you do.
But my point is, if he doesn't play well and you cut him, and you just say, fuck it, get the fuck out of here, go.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like right around trade deadline or whatever, and he's just fucking shelled. He's a shell of himself. You can still make a trade with somebody, not with him, but other fucking moves, and you could actually pick up a guy that has a expiring contract that can give you something for the playoffs, for the push.
But if you cut him,
you can also trade the rights to David Price too, and then he'll say, oh, "Okay, I'll fucking come back and play."
Yeah, you could. I just don't know who would want him.
Ben Sherrington.
There you go.
He had a very bad offseason.
Yeah,
it was awful.
Did he also put together the team that won though? Or was that still Theo?
No, that was him.
That was Ben Sherrington.
Yeah.
That was Ben Sherrington, the 2013 team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was like
him.
the fucking like Mike Napoli and
Johnny
the Flying Hawaiian.
Yeah. Shane Victorino.
Yeah.
Right.
I couldn't remember his name, but I remember his name.
The guy that literally had to stop batting switch hitter, had to just go right-handed because he couldn't bat left-handed.
That one magical season that made no sense. Like they should have never been close to winning the World Series.
Win a World Series, worst team in the league.
Yeah. Also, the year that made sure that we saw John Farrell for like another 5 years because of that one fucking season.
Yeah, that's true. That's an interesting debate. I'm very torn. I will let you guys know how I feel about this next week. We'll come up with a formulated opinion.
And the other thing is that bothered me was they came out and said, somebody, I want to say it was probably Alex Cora. This is where I want to just like, stop.
Yeah.
Don't say that ever again. I understand you're trying to stand up for your player, but you're fucking wrong. He's like, give me
5 soft guys.
Give me 5 David Prices.
Right.
I'll take that all day. No, you wouldn't, because they'd be fucking taking days off. They'd have problems.
He has to say
I understand that, but you don't have to. You just be like, he gutted it out, guys.
That's kind of
what else you got to say.
What do you think of David Price saying he's soft? He's like, do you think he's soft? And
that's all I would say. End it there.
And then the media's like, I don't. He says, I don't think he's soft. I think he's tough as nails, or whatever. And he turns says, if David Price is soft, give me 5 soft guys every day, or whatever. And
when he started doubling down, I was like, shut up.
Yeah.
I get it. You're trying to be funny with, and he is pretty open with the media when he goes on.
You know what? This
Dale and
Keefe.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about, though. There's this perception of David Price, and then there's a David Price that none of us know.
Right.
And for some reason, the gap is gigantic.
Mm-hmm.
Where the David Price that everyone sees,
right,
everyone hates.
Okay.
But the David Price that none of us know, everyone loves.
Everyone really
loves.
So what is the disconnect here?
Right.
And I think the disconnect is David Price is trying to be a David Price that he's not, so that everyone will like him. When I think the real David Price is the one you saw say, I'm soft. The sarcastic asshole up front about everything David Price is the one that everyone else gets to see that we don't see.
And my
David Price is fucking Joe's Aaron Rodgers. Just like, fuck you, you're not that good. Because everyone else around you...
Aaron Rodgers is pretty fucking good. But I just don't think he's the best.
You do shortchange him a lot.
I just don't think he's the best.
Clearly, but you make...
But when you think about... Like, I'm trying to think of a guy, because I was going to say Brady, because other than New England, he catches a lot of flack outside of New England.
Brady's the best, though. Aaron Rodgers is the... I just don't like that.
He won one championship.
I don't like
he hasn't done anything else.
I don't like that people try and elevate him to the greatest quarterback of all time. Because
you can if you only win one.
To me, there's a difference. There's a difference between the best.
What about Marino?
That's why I don't think Marino. There's a difference between the best and the greatest.
Aaron's in a box.
No, not in a box. I said they can't if you only win one.
Right. But if you win none, you can be. In the
I'm sorry.
It's the same argument as me.
No. Here's the one guy I will say to you. This is the one guy. I'll take Marino out of if you want to take him out of it. But the one guy that puts a fucking monkey wrench in a lot of people's fucking and anything is Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He lost 4.
Oh, he lost 4. Right. Yeah, I'm sorry.
But he made it to 4 back to back Super Bowls. It's never happened. And
I think he had to
played
win
well, though.
Right.
And I'm not saying he's the greatest.
No,
but to not put him in the fucking conversation is asinine.
It's a really simple thing to me. There's a difference between the best quarterback of all time and the greatest quarterback of all time.
Mm-hmm.
The greatest, to be the greatest is accomplishments. Great means you accomplish things.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Aaron Rodgers might be the best quarterback of all time. He might have the best arm, might have the best passer rating, he might have the lowest interceptions, but he didn't accomplish what Tom Brady accomplished. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. Dan Marino might be a better quarterback by passer rating, by yardage, especially in his era, but he was not accomplished like Tom Brady was. Right. That is why there's a difference between the best quarterback of all time and the greatest quarterback of all time.
Did you also see there was a roast of somebody, Rob Lowe? Yeah, think he's getting roasted. Did anyone see it?
No.
I probably did, just don't remember.
Peyton Manning's there. It just happened like the other day.
Oh no, I didn't see it.
Peyton Manning's there. This girl, I forget her name now. I know her. I can't think of it. Says, "Hey everybody, Peyton Manning's here." She's like, "Actually, this wasn't for the people here. It's for Peyton. I'm really worried about him. He's had a ton of concussions. I just wanted to remind him, you're here. You're here. Please don't go home and kill your wife. You're here." And then like everyone's laughing. She says, "No, I don't actually know anything about football." She's like, "But I know Peyton Manning because he's so good in commercials. Like he's the greatest at commercials. He's like the Tom Brady of commercials." And you see him like. And he starts laughing, but you could tell that one like sunk in, and fucking Jeff Ross and another comedian were all like, "Oh my god!" Like that was, that's a soft spot. Like they're like, "Don't do that." It was pretty funny.
Peyton Manning, people forget, known steroid user.
It's true. That's true. Please don't go home and kill your wife.
That's
so deep.
That's
I love to throw that out, by the way, especially to Broncos fans.
Known steroid user.
Oh, Tom Brady's a cheater. Oh, interesting. I don't think Tom Brady ever had steroids shipped to his wife, to his house under a false name.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, I know a quarterback who did.
I could name one. If you want me to name one.
Interestingly, it happened right before his best season. And it stopped right before they started testing for HGH. But
I don't.
What do I know?
Definitely
Kanye shrug.
You definitely look like the emoji. Like just. That's really good. I like that.
Interesting.
Both you guys are your own emojis, by the way. Like I could see you doing that a lot, and then you do the like with the hands.
Oh, the wave.
the
smile with the wave.
Smile with the wave. Like hey, whatever. You guys do a good job with those.
Yeah.
Like the walking embodiment of those two emojis.
You wouldn't know that listening to me though.
No, Aaron's actually one of the nicest people I know.
I love the sarcastic shrug. It's like one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
I used to get.
That's like the LeBron James. Like
I had a football coach, and he would do something, and he'd go, he'd be like, "What? Like, what did happen on this play?" And I would just go, like I wasn't
Put
me.
your hands out. Yeah,
and he goes, "You do this one more fucking time, I'm gonna kick you in the balls." I'm like, "Go ahead."
Right.
And he asked again, and I was like, "Go ahead, go ahead. I wear a fucking cup. I'm the only one on the team that does." Start swinging.
Just go nuts.
Like, I hope you break your toe. Like, I don't give a shit.
One of those weird metal Muay Thai cups that'll just, like, break your foot.
Oh, yeah. Fracture every bone in your toes.
What do we got? Tom Brady showing up soon?
Yep.
Do we think?
Did Gronk ever get a new contract?
No word on Gronk. That was a frustrating update.
I read somewhere
Trade him.
No. He's going to be back, so...
That sounded almost like the NBC...
Trade him.
No.
But no, I think that's another thing. Like, we haven't heard any news about that.
Yeah, nothing.
You guys were so like, "Oh, that's going to happen."
Oh,
and when it happens, Aaron, you're going to eat all those words about trading him. He wants to be here. He wants to do everything.
No, well, I think he wants to be with Tom, and I think he wants to get paid more.
Yeah.
I think that still stands. I don't think I'm wrong there. I thought the contract would have happened already.
You know what?
I saw a report that they were working on it. I will say this.
Here's the real crux of my problems.
Nice fucking word.
Yeah, crux. Good. I like that.
That's really well
you know what the crux of the problem is?
I'm going to create a juxtaposition about this.
And this is, and you might disagree with me, but you might also hear what I'm also saying.
Crux the position.
What's creating a serious issue is your offensive coordinator. Because
no, I'm just kidding.
No, because he stayed,
right,
and he's quote unquote the coach in waiting. They can't say that, but he is. Right. You're giving Brady and Gronk the ability to say, "We want to play for him. We don't want to play for him anymore. Mm-hmm. We don't want to play for Belichick. We want to play for McDaniels." I think that's bullshit.
Well, essentially, they are playing for McDaniels.
They are. He's their offensive coordinator. He makes the plays. But my point is, if that's where you're gonna fucking that's your fucking hill to die on, that's fucking stupid.
They just have to wait a year.
Yeah,
they just have to wait a season.
I do find this to be a really odd way to go about what's happening.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, if there's a lot of conversation about, I just want to be appreciated. And I think that's okay to feel that way. You know what I mean? I don't think that's 100% wrong. Cassius Marsh has a very strong
I was
opinion
going to
about
say,
that.
did you see the Cassius Marsh thing?
Yeah, what the fuck?
That dude can fuck all the way off.
Yeah. That was
I just wasn't having fun.
It's just not a fun place to play.
In New England?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because look at him.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you have
He's a
crosses under your
psychopath.
eyes. It's like, fucking
He's a psychopath.
Move.
And he's he's a serial killer.
It's not a fun place to play.
We already had one of
How
those.
about-
We got rid of him.
How about it's the
Well,
only
he went to
it's the
jail.
only place that's ever let you play, so maybe you should fucking appreciate
Enjoy it,
You dumb
Rod
fuck.
away in San Fran, you fucking clown. Although I think San Fran's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, not with Cassius Marsh on the field.
I just don't think he's going to add anything to them.
They had me doing a bunch of stuff I'd never done before. Yeah, it's called playing football. You've never done that before either, you dumb fuck.
No, the difference is in Seattle, your head coach, you're this fucking genius.
Have fun getting a
just
real
tells
job.
you to go.
Right.
Go out there and do something.
Right.
Whereas if Belichick goes, on this play, you need to read this guy.
Right.
When they line up in this formation, you need to read this guy. And then once he moves out of your zone, you need to read this
know
guy.
what?
They made him think, and then he doesn't want to do
San
that.
San Francisco should call Cassius Marsh into the office right now and say, "Listen, I heard what you said about the Patriots. It's interesting. Didn't you win? Didn't they win?
Right.
He got cut during the season.
You won. They won like a lot of games when you were there, right? Yeah. So you're saying you didn't have any fun winning?
Yeah.
Get off the team.
Right.
Because we're going to do a lot of winning this year,
Right.
so maybe you won't have fun here either.
Right.
That's what they should say.
I think, fuck Cassius Marsh. I think there is a problem with a happiness or a vibe, and I think that there's been this
I think he gave himself that name.
expiring sense of, winning's great. Believe me, just believe me. We're gonna win. I don't blame Tom Brady if that's really the beef right now. It's just like, I just want to feel appreciated. I don't have a problem with that.
All it takes
What I don't like is that there's this created and not confirmed vibe that he's saying that I want to play for Josh. I don't want to play for Bill. You know what I mean? Like, that's never been said at all.
He actually said the opposite.
Yeah, he said that he loves playing with Bill. But there is, I kind of feel that way though too. You know what I mean? Like, even though it's never been said, I kind of have that vibe that
I understand that I hate McDaniels.
Right.
I just don't like his play calling, and I think he's a fucking moron, especially what he did to fucking Indy.
Yeah.
But I also think that that's my point. Like, this guy is creating so much shit, and it has nothing to do with that stuff.
Right.
I
don't think Josh did that.
No, but by him being there
right.
creates
it's
that
enabling
issue.
the situation. Right.
I actually think this 100% has to do with the fact that they lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think winning fixes everything.
I understand that, but
I think Tom Brady feels a lot more appreciated if he has, another Super Bowl ring.
Yeah. I understand that.
And he just doesn't, and they didn't lose.
But I also feel like
I think them losing the Super Bowl and Malcolm Butler not playing has done a lot of negative to Bill Belichick's relationship with some of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that the other thing is, you've played for Belichick for how many years?
Yeah, this will be 18, I think.
Give him a call. Swing over to his office.
That's the thing. Maybe they have.
No, but there's no report
I don't believe that Bill
about
doesn't
them.
know where Tom is.
No. My point is, obviously the team knows where he is. Even if he didn't talk directly to Bill.
Right.
He tells,
hey, Rob,
Josh,
or Josh, or whatever. Right,
hey, Josh, tell Belichick, hey, tell Bill, I'll be in on this date.
Isn't that also somewhat on Bill, though?
No. I'm saying
he should reach across the.
I'm saying
if there's an issue.
My thing is he did with Rob. He called him in, had a meeting with him.
Right.
I think he also looks at it as, Brady, you're 40.
Right.
We play together. You've been playing for me for how long? You got a problem? Give me a call.
Right.
Open door policy to him. I'm sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's true. But maybe, and I'm not trying to create a different thing here, but maybe Bill is like, fuck him.
No, I mean,
you know what I mean.
I've played for coaches that feel that
Rob
way
because he says, Rob, I think you can be a part of our future. You're important, and I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to. You know what I mean? All he's going to do is fucking go work out with Guerrero and fucking buddy up with Josh and fucking I'm done. I'm done with him. And maybe, I don't know. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm just making this scenario up. Maybe Tom's sitting there waiting, like, I want him to call me. And we're thinking that Bill's sitting there, like, when is Tom going to get here? You know what I mean? And since no one knows, it's like, maybe Bill's the bad guy in this situation.
Yeah.
You know,
But I also think Bill has learned from his previous relationships with certain people. Mm-hmm. If they never give him a reason to be grumpy Bill, as we like to see him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. Like, he did that documentary with Bill Parcells, and Bill Parcells and him had issues.
Right.
But there's coaches that have left his team. I'll just use it for coaches. But there's players, too, like, that will talk about how, like, you know, Willie McGinnis. He left. Bill and him have a great relationship.
Right.
So I don't think it's that. I think it's for the simple fact that Belichick probably looks at him and goes, "You're fucking 40. Why should I treat you like a fucking prima donna? You haven't been this way your whole career.
Right.
Why do I have to fucking pat you on the butt now and tell you good game?"
Right.
Like, I'm sorry. Like,
I think,
I don't think that that's the narrative either. I think it's purely media driven.
Yeah.
But I also feel like watching the way they're interacting this offseason, it is tough. But I also think, like, a guy, like, you haven't had a guy to the level of Brady kind of say, I'm just not going to come.
Right.
Especially when he was the guy that kept telling everybody that was underneath him it was important.
Right.
But Gronk, he's not doing it either.
I think there's two different fights being fought here, and I think that both of them are totally fair. Mm-hmm. Possibly. You know what I mean? Now the narrative that they're both mad at him and they're holding hands, throwing a temper tantrum against the Patriots or whatever, that could be true, and I don't like that look at all.
Yeah.
What could be true is that Tom told them in the whole world, in Tom versus Time, this offseason is going to be about my family. Mm-hmm. I am going to spend more time. I need to be a dad. I need to be a husband. I need to do more of that. This is voluntary. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm keeping my body in shape. I go work out. I do my thing. I'm going to spend time with my family. When I need to be there, I'll be there. Totally within your right.
And Belichick could be, okay, see you then, Tom.
Right. Yeah, and we just don't know that.
Yeah.
Gronk is a guy that wants a contract and is holding out, which happens all the time, through voluntary camp. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Now, when mandatory starts this week, next week, right? I think that the second, third, fourth it starts, whatever.
Yeah.
Now I think you'll start to be able to fill in some of the blanks. Mm-hmm. If Tom's not there for mandatory and Gronk's not there for mandatory and there's been no contract and Tom and Bill are arguing on the sideline or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, then I think you'll start to figure some stuff out. If they show up and everything's good, it could just be, Tom spent time with his family and didn't go to voluntary camp because he's 40 and a lot of old players want to take the summer off. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Okay, I got no problem with that. And with everything that Tom's given you, you can't give him 2 weeks, 3 weeks to be a volunteer. You know what I mean? So if that's the actual case, then much ado about nothing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think that's totally fair. We'll see.
Yeah, we don't know. We keep trying to play that narrative, but like, that's my thing. I think it could be that. I think it could totally be.
It could be.
And I've played on teams where I had a coach literally just fucking dog me all the time. Mm-hmm. Just nonstop on my case. I showed him in the off season that I was dedicated, worked out every day with my teammates, did everything, was weightlifting, got faster, got in better shape, got back bigger, was able to, I could run and catch.
Oh, yeah, right.
And my coach is looking at me, he's like, what the fuck? Like, and you're our starting center.
Right.
But then also at the same time, coaches, during games, once the season starts and everything, it's constantly yelling at me, never fucking, and I don't care what you do in front of the team. If you need to make it you need, like you're saying, Brady's feeling this way. In front of everybody, you keep fucking dogging me.
Right.
And then you never just, after the practice, go, hey, man, I really,
you know what this is.
It was good. It was a good practice.
Right.
Keep up the good work. I'm going to keep on you because the other guys need to see that I can be on you as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's all you need.
Right.
I never got that.
Right.
So I have a coach, and we're friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
I refuse to fucking speak to him because he won't speak to me in person because he's too much of a pussy to talk to me.
I'm tagging him in this post.
Go for it. But I just think it's bullshit. Like, be an adult and talk. I admitted when I acted when I was pissed off at you.
Right.
And I didn't want to play.
Yeah.
But be an adult about it. Go talk to him. You're fucking Brady. You're 40. Belichick. You're fucking 60.
Right.
Talk.
Yeah.
If you've worked together for how long? I think it's not that hard.
Right. Oh, yeah, I dig it. I'm with you. Vegas Knights going to win the World Series again, 2 weeks in a row.
Are they going to win the World Series?
Putting money on that.
I'm doubling down on that.
I'm gonna bet Chad that.
All right, I'll take your LeBron bet, homeboy. Now give me the Knights to win the World Series. I'd be like, deal, definite deal. Dude, they're up 1-0, right? They're tied 1-1 right now. Actually, at the end of the first period for Game 2.
Are they?
Live score up there right there.
I want to see Ovechkin win one.
I think Knights are gonna win.
They might.
I think Knights are gonna win it. They're gonna go 2-0.
Did you hear about they brought out showgirls on the fucking ice and all kinds of shit for pregame?
They're doing it. They're doing it.
Yeah, they're trying.
I like it. I guess that's about it for this week, right?
Basically,
we got a lot of Celtics talk.
Just because it was I want to say this: it was a positive season,
right?
But it was a gut punch at the end,
of course. Yeah,
because you're just sitting there going, "God damn it! They could have done this."
Right.
I really wanted them to win.
Yeah, I think everyone started to believe it. You know what I mean? And it was like
I bought in.
Yeah.
I think this loss was harder, not than the Patriots, but it was harder than the fucking Bruins losing in the playoffs.
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah, I believe it. And the Bruins was the second round.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, they were one game away from getting to the NBA Finals with this.
I'm
squad.
sorry,
it was crazy. That would have
that would have been insane. Then even if you
half away.
Yeah, and did you see Hayward after the game when he just gave a quick hug to Tatum as he's walking? Because they pulled him out of the game with a minute left.
Taking your minutes.
No, he just looked at him and he goes, as Tatum was walking away, you can see him Tatum had already walked away, and he just goes, "We'll be back."
Yeah,
and that was it.
That's true.
I think that's more. And then fucking LeBron after the game, chasing him down and having to have a moment with him because he wants those photos.
He does want those photos, but he actually really likes him. He's been praising him all year. That he thinks he's a really, really good player.
And I hope Tatum in the offseason goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna gut him in the offseason. I'm gonna gut him next year."
That's kind of what he's saying. I'm gonna work on my body. I want to match.
Did you see what he did during the game? That was sick.
The yammed on him and then fucking
when he got all bumping his chest on him.
Wonderful.
That was worth losing the series to me. There you go.
I don't know about that.
All right, there.
I don't know about that, but it was good.
It was good. I literally jumped off my couch oh shit!
Yeah.
He thought he yammered on him.
That was wonderful.
That was wild. That was a great thing. Anything big coming up? You got WCP this week?
WCP this week.
Yes,
sir.
Not bad.
Oh, and I pre-ordered. I know you always tell me I don't tell you anything.
Yeah.
And you're not into Funkos.
I am.
Well, you are. Yeah. Sorry, you're into Funkos, but you're not into actual figures.
Right. Okay,
but I pre-ordered. They did a Retro Fest GameStop exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like an old school video arcade game. It's about this tall, so it's 6 to 8 inches tall.
Okay, yeah.
Packaging.
Yeah.
It looks like an old arcade game, and it's got the fucking old school Shawn Michaels rockers.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the back, it's got his bio, player 1, and then it's
shit.
But it's got Shawn Michaels finisher, Sweet Chin Music.
That's cool.
So they did that, and they just released Macho Man.
Nice.
So I pre-ordered my Shawn Michaels.
There you go.
Did that today.
There you go. Nice. I really want to go. I'm on the lookout for the Shohei Ohtani.
Oh yeah.
Angels 2-pack Funko. One is a pitcher, one is a batter. I like that thing a lot. I want that.
He's still pitching well.
He is. He's a really good player.
Yeah.
I really like him.
I want to call you out, though. You haven't been playing fucking tap baseball.
I've not been playing tap baseball. I actually downloaded Baseball Boy.
I'm carrying it.
So I'm playing Baseball Boy.
What is Baseball Boy?
It's a really dumb game. Not good.
No.
Baseball.
So why you been playing?
I've been playing this way worse game.
It's just wildly addicting. It's just so stupid and addicting. It was one of those ones that was on Facebook, only 5% of people can get to level 10 or whatever. And I was like,
Dave's I'm challenge accepted.
No problem. Yeah. So yeah, I've just been stuck on that. I have not been doing tap baseball. I also haven't been on my phone a lot.
Yeah, until you post, hey, can anybody connect to their
my
Facebook
Messenger? My Messenger was fucking up today. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
Joe's on vacation, so he's just
oh yeah, you're
checked out.
Checked out, right?
Yep.
All right, well, we'll see you next week.
All right.
No, you got when is down distance? Anything? I know you don't want to put a date.
Don't you dare ask me about down and distance.
Are you recording? soon.
We actually have a Down and Distance recorded.
Ooh.
I've yet to check the audio on it.
Yeah.
Make sure everything's okay. Might be doing that tonight.
Very dramatic moment right here. I like this.
There is a chance.
Where's the dum
There
dum
is
dum
a, there is a chance.
Yeah.
By the time that you hear this,
Yeah.
that there is a Down and Distance out already.
Oh wow.
Perfect timing.
There you go. Cool.
But like I said, it is. We're gonna put it at like a 5% chance because I don't want to get your hopes up at all.
Right.
Let's actually pretend that I never said what I just said.
Right. Yeah.
Down and Distance is a fake show. It doesn't exist. And
you definitely just said, "Hey, you might have it this week, but I don't want to get your hopes up."
Yeah. Don't.
If I don't get a Down and Distance this week,
Nope. There's no such thing.
I'm gonna be more
Hey,
disappointed
have you
than
ever
them
seen-
not trading David Price.
Have you
all
ever
right?
have you ever seen a Bigfoot?
Yes.
You have.
Yes, I've seen video.
Have you seen a Loch Ness monster?
I've seen video.
No, but have you ever seen one in person?
Well, I've never been on the other side of the pond.
Have
So
you seen a Bigfoot in person?
I wear a size 13.
person?
I don't know. What does that mean?
I mean, I've seen some large people.
No, a Sasquatch.
Oh.
Have you seen a Sasquatch? In person?
Oh. No.
What about a like a unicorn?
Yes.
You've seen a unicorn in person?
I've had I know a couple.
That was my point. Yes.
Yeah. No, but other than that,
that's
no.
what Down and Distance is. It's a mythical creature.
I don't know if you want to put it on the unicorn level.
That's,
The only unicorn I know is Porzingis.
I need to come on that show. We'll do that. All right.
It's spelled the same way. I think
Yeah,
it is.
we'll leave that. Dealer's choice.
Let that just
Steelers
Let that just Superman.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.